First usage of parentheses or brackets, and. I have found several sources, Wikipedia, Eats, Shoots and Leaves, that claim Erasmus was the first person to use parentheses, also known as brackets. He supposedly called them lunulae, because they looked like moons. But I can't find any source citations. Can anyone provide more information about this supposed fact? In which book did Erasmus first use them? What year was the book published? The reason I want to know is that Erasmus lived and died in the town where I live, Basel, Switzerland. I'm trying to determine if parentheses were invented here in Basel. Extra upvotes for answers with excessive amounts of bracket usage.
Sorry, but according to a 1993 book, Pause and Effect, An Introduction to the History of Punctuation in the West, by Malcolm Beckwith Parks, Erasmus didn't invent parentheses, but he gave them a nice name. A form of parenthesis had already been used in a manuscript called De Nobilitate Legum et Medicinal, from 1399, that looked like a gamma and. In a 1428 copy of Cicero's Epistolae ad Familiares, the marks were paired off as lower than ... They subsequently became the familiar round brackets, as recommended by Gabarino, Barzizza, 1359-1431, in his Doctrina Punctandi. Edit. Furthermore, if you reread Wikipedia you'll see it says, citing Lin Truss. Desiderius Erasmus coined the term lunula to refer to the rounded parentheses, recalling the round shape of the moon. He coined the term lunula. It makes no claim of Erasmus, or anyone else, inventing the mark.
Further to Hugo's answer, John Leonard, a linguistic scholar, talks about these in his book, The Poetry Handbook, and, in a footnote, says that Erasmus coined the term in the year 1531. My understanding, from the Wikipedia article on him, is that by this time he was indeed living in Basel, but, as Hugo notes, here he coined the term lunula, but did not first use brackets.
They go back as far as the inverted nun letters bracketing certain passages in the Tana, ch, Hebrew scripture Genesis 6-, Psalms 107, Numbers 10 verses 35 to 36. Later scholarly readers of these ancient texts in their original ported this into their European languages, in shapes like, and, that worked with Latin-derived letters form.
Just to add, Salutati visually translated the classical figure of digression parenthesis or interpositio by inventing the typographical mark which would bear the same name. So the stylistic device of inserting additional stuff into the main thing has been around since Cicero and Quintilian. In the Renaissance, parenthesis referred to three things: the literary device, as well as the words within the typographical marks, parentheses or round brackets. Also, just as a quite interesting aside, Salutati added the early parentheses by hand into the manuscript copied or noted down by his assistant. It was so important for him to control the flow of the sentence that he actually made the effort to read the text and squeeze the marks in himself. Punctuation was considered that powerful that the man himself needed to do it, or was allowed to do it, not his secretary. PPS Salutati was a punctuation fan and also introduces the first exclamation mark into the 1399 manuscript, though he didn't invent it.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.